Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going today? Today's date is April the 16th, a Tuesday, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and just generally speak about the market. Today, we're going to go over three specific things only. We're going to go over one, the monthly returns table, two, the year to date ROI after the Bitcoin halving, and three, we're going to talk about some EMAs so you guys have a very good perspective of how the other bull markets have been trending thus far. So let's jump right into it. For those that don't know me, my name is Philakone. I've been in the crypto market for about 9 years now. I've been through two major bull markets and two major bear markets. I turned $2,000 to well over seven figures. Used to be a mechanical engineer. Now I do crypto and invest full time. I took a step back from day trading because the portfolio is so large that there's not really a necessity to day trade anymore. And my goal is to provide you with some of the best updates that's straight to the point so I don't take up a lot of your time. So let's jump right into this, everybody. So let's talk about the three different halving periods that we've had so far. The first halving that we had was in November of 2012. Okay. So actually, before we get into it, let's take a look at this. Every time there was a Bitcoin halving, it has always had some sort of a sideways pattern and then a major rally to the upside. So a big argument that people have right now is, for example, oh, because we've hit at a higher price point than the all-time high before and we broke it, it threw off this cycle, and because of that, we might get a large dip. Now, it might make sense to believe in a bearish side, but you also have to see it from the perspective of we're incredibly bullish right now. And since the market, maybe not short term, but long term, but since the market has rallied tremendously already, at the Bitcoin halving, there's a very small chance for a miner's capitulation. What a miner's capitulation refers to is when the hash rate in Bitcoin, it ends up dropping to the downside because many miners after the halving event, they're forced to exit the game, especially the small time miners, because the price of Bitcoin is too low and they can't keep up with their operations. Now, this happens when the Bitcoin price is too low, but right now, Bitcoin's price is incredibly high, and the chances of that happening is extremely low. Even if and when it does happen, the block reward gets cut in half, miners will actually still be very profitable. So you can see based off of this chart that every single time there's a Bitcoin halving event, there has been nothing except for a huge rally that ends up lasting in the past two cycles, 2012, 2016. It ended up lasting 525 days. And then in 2021, it lasted 546 days. So another argument would be like, even if the market did drop a little bit, does it actually really matter when you think about the long term, right? If it does drop a little bit, great. You have another opportunity to buy a huge amount, and that's in your best interest. So the people who are investing long term, my best advice I can give you is don't worry too much about the short term volatility and these short term swings. Don't be looking at your portfolio every single day, refreshing it every hour. It's going to make you go crazy. And also focus on the long term. You're here for the big gains, understand the big picture. Yes, the economy is still absolutely crap right now, but keep in mind, federal elections are coming up this year. There's still a lot of time for the market to recover in terms of interest rates lowering, people being able to borrow money again, quantitative easing. So there's a lot of potential for the bull market to still pick back up, okay? And another thing we wanted to talk about is the monthly returns table. So the first Bitcoin halving event was in November of 2012, right here, this guy here, okay? I'm actually going to screenshot this and put it on Paint so I can highlight it. All right, this one is actually more than fine. So these months that I've highlighted have been historically the Bitcoin halving months. So November 2012, as you can see here, that after the halving, there was a bullish month, and then 4 more bullish months in the next year. So after the halving in 2012, it created 5 months of incredible bullishness. And yes, there were some dips the year after, a 5% dip, and then even a major dip, which probably shook the market. But this led up to the major bull market. 16%, 25%, small dip, 55%, 453%. So we can see it in 2012. I understand it's been over a decade and many macroeconomic conditions are completely different now. And then if we take a look at 2016, this was the halving month. Now the month after the halving, we ended up getting a bearish month, right? We can all agree with that. But after that bearish month, despite the dip, look what ended up happening. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullish months. Now, mind you, January wasn't the greatest. And then we got a small dip. And then we ended up getting a bullish month, bullish, 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 small dip again, and then bullish, bullish, bullish. So that's now 2 Bitcoin halving events that I've showed you where after the halving, we've had many bullish months after that. And then in 2020, this is where the halving was in May, we had a bearish month after that, slightly bearish. But look at the results afterwards. We had a huge 24% gain, 3% gain, and then a small drop, right? An 8% drop. But look at it afterwards, 28%, 42%, 48%. We ended up getting like, if you didn't count this month, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of bullishness. And then into the new year, the bullish year, 7, 8, 9 months of bullishness. And then we ended up getting a small drop, then a big drop in May, then another small drop, and then it ended up leading into massive all-time highs. So we can see that after the Bitcoin halving event, it's done nothing except for maybe drop slightly for a month or two where it doesn't do too much and it hovers. And then after that, it just ends up exploding. Now, I would like you to present one shred of evidence that says otherwise. There's no reason to not believe in this theory. This thesis is sound because of everything that we've seen so far. So it's only going to lead to the conclusion that we are most likely going to get a bullish year this end of the year and into next year as well. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about quickly is the EMAs. Okay, so the EMAs, what we can see every single time there's a bull market is this, that it's going to generally, so the white line's the 200 EMA, purple's the 100, the 50 is the yellow. What we generally see is that every time there's a bull market, every time it goes into between the 50 EMA and also the 200 EMA, basically between the yellow and the white line, it's a fantastic opportunity to buy. You can see that, right? So this was a great opportunity to buy over here, over here, over here, over here. And then it leads into a major bull market. So some people might say, well, if you buy, what if there's a major dip? And my argument would be you got to understand the long-term picture, which is Bitcoin is likely to rally for hundreds of days after the Bitcoin halving, leading to the all-time high. And then once it reaches the 500-day range, you got to stop. You got to really stop buying when there's a dip again. So that's a great strategy to be employing, and it's proven true every single time. Now, mind you, before the bull market actually begins, there's going to be major oscillation periods, up and down, up and down. And that happened right around here. But after it starts to fan out and it shows divergence with the EMAs, every time there's a great buying opportunity. Every time above the 200 and it gets below the 50, basically around the 100 EMA. So, or even very close to it, as you can see. Even right here was a decent opportunity. So time is running out, guys. We've seen it in 2016, 2017, and also the last bull market, 2020, 2021, that here's where it oscillates up and down, right? It just goes up and down for a while, up and down. But then after that, every time it gets between there's a great buying opportunity. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be the absolute lowest we're going to go. In fact, we might drop below the $60,000 support, 61,000. But even if it does, it still presents an amazing opportunity to get in at very reasonable prices, because it's not often where the price is going to get below the 50 EMA and in between these zones. So I personally think that regardless of if it's the bottom or not, from the perspective of risk, it's a great opportunity to be buying. So So even if it gets lower, I will be buying further. Not only that, when you factor in some coins, like for example, Solana, it's dropped a significant amount. We're talking like 46% already. It provides an amazing opportunity to buy. So you got to remember that, for example, coins like Jupiter has dropped 59%. Okay, but if it rallies from where it dropped to all the way to the top, it's actually a 146% rally. So we have to remember that it might drop quickly, but when it recovers, it starts to recover extremely quickly because the price point is so low. So my point of all of this video is saying that after the Bitcoin halving event, the monthly returns table have always been incredibly bullish. The ROI after the halving has always been bullish. And right now it marks an amazing time to check it out because it's between the 50 and the 200 exponential moving average. So guys, stay tuned. Okay, this is a very good period. Also guys, by popular demand, and many people have been requesting it, so I created the 2024 Investor's Guide to Crypto. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about how I'm managing my positions, what positions I'm in with the $5 million portfolio, what exactly are my picks, how I plan to diversify it, when I plan to exit the market, and also when I plan to buy more. It's going to give you an oversight of everything I know when it comes to investing in crypto from the experience of 9 years now. And this was just released yesterday actually, and it's only going for what it was $400, but it's on sale guys right now for only $125. I think that for this value, you are going to learn an immense amount. So for this week till the end of Sunday, it's $125, 9-hour course. You're going to learn so much in this course, things that you didn't even know that you knew. So I'll see you guys either in the course or for the next video. Thank you very much for your time. If you've enjoyed these types of videos that are very short and to the point, let me know with a like and make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Bye now.